Good morning. Back on the pond job this morning. A little bit of an update. We've been doing lots of digging last week. We've generated lots of clay, obviously. Seeing there, the pond is taking shape nicely. Oh, follow the dog. See if we can not break her leg on the way round. There we go, that's better. So yeah, it's taking shape. Show you a little bit of a closer view. See all these little twigs. Lethal, trip you up. So yeah, we were making good progress last week. Well, there's a lot of water here now. She's good. Oh yeah, she's filling up. So, we run off there at the back. Our little canal runs off to an overflow. We left this island in the middle. That'll be just under water level in winter. That'll encourage reeds to grow. So that's going to be a little island, encourage wildlife. Then the pond comes around. So we made a good way around the edge. It's going basically in a circle round the back of the machine and just a bit further that way. Yeah, so we're getting on. We were flying along. Then the machine started getting warm, which it has been doing intermittently. Never that serious, and it always cooled down fast. But it was getting a bit frequent, so I thought I need to do something about this. So I spoke to a few people and I changed the thermostat because this age of machine, everyone seemed to think that thermostat could be sticking and not allowing the water through when it should. So we changed the thermostat. Unfortunately, that didn't make any difference. And it's a horrible feeling when you think you've fixed something and then, oh, problem's there again. A bit disheartening. So then we went back to real basics, because when I got this machine, I gave it a good wash. And I cleaned these radiators. They were fairly dirty. So I cleaned the radiators, but what I didn't do, and I should have, so it's my own fault, is this here. This is the air conditioning radiator. And it goes right across the front of oil cooler, intercooler, and engine radiator cooler. So a fitter that I used came down last Friday, helped me. So we unbolted that air conditioning radiator, got it out the way, and behind there, all of that section of the three radiators was about 5mm thick with crap, real rough stuff. So we give them a wash off, cleaned it up, checked the suction through, you know, it was working well. Got it done basically, and she was running nice, digging hard, as you can see, staying cool. I knocked it up a notch on the revs to give it a bit more and just double check it wasn't getting hot, with a bit more revs rather than just babying it. So I was happy. So, got to the end of the day, parked it up, thought I'll have a look in there and just check everything was right, no leaks, nothing like that, which there wasn't. And then I come round to this side, open this door, oh, load of oil on the deck. So this morning, as disheartening as it was, you've got to keep going. Fitter has actually just arrived now in his magical Land Rover, and we're going to have a look for an oil leak. I've got to keep my head up. This is the joys of running machines. So let me have a look with him, and we'll have a video later and let you know what the crack is. Good morning. Back at the pond job again. Bit disappointed. Couple of points I wanted to talk about today. We thought we'd fixed the machine from getting warm and the oil leaks. So I think I'd already showed you, but we gave the radiators all a really good clean. We're happy. Put a rag over them, all covered everything, and it's pulling air through really well, like it should. So we think now there's potentially a blockage inside the radiator somewhere, just stopping the water flowing and circulating as it should. So fitter's coming down again this morning, see if we can sort that. Other thing was we had the oil leak, which we found 2 pipes, one of which was definitely leaking. The other one we changed as a precaution, really. These 2 pipes here for the oil filter housing, instead of it being on the side of the engine, it's in this compartment to make servicing easy. So we swapped those pipes. They were perished and they were damp, they were leaking, so still a good job done. However, when the machine got warm yesterday, stopped, and I opened this door. I've cleaned it since, but there was a big pool of oil under there and a big pool of oil under here. So there's another oil leak somewhere, but it's just so hard to track them down with, if it's a small leak and it's just a little drip, the fan produces that much air, it just blows it and spreads it everywhere. So you need to, like we've done today, clean everything, let the machine sit, be cold, have a look round it, and then while the fitter's with me, do some digging, get it hot and see if you can spot the leak fresh and see where it's coming from. So that's what we're up to today. But I just wanted to touch upon having, it's important if you work for yourself, especially running machinery. Things are going to break, I understand that. But I've just had, in the space of 3 days, 3 breakdowns. Well, not breakdowns, you could keep working the machine, but I wouldn't run it with oil leaks and I wouldn't run it getting hot. So it's my choice to stop. The job's going well, I'm pleased, customer's happy. Customer's been really good, to be honest. He's just said, get your machine sorted, that's most important. He knows I'm going to finish the job for him, so he's happy. It doesn't matter, there's no time frame on it. Just get it done as quickly, as efficiently as I can. I've definitely spent more than I've earned since being here. He made me a sausage butty on the barbecue yesterday at lunchtime to cheer me up, so he's a really nice guy. Can't fault him. Anyway, point being, anyone who works for themselves, these things will excuse me, these things will happen. The dog's always happy. These things will happen. You need to keep positive, keep your head up, keep going, work through them. It's so easy to lose your momentum, isn't it? You've just got to get up every morning, go out and keep pushing, even though you feel like you're flogging a dead horse at times. The phases, they will pass. You know, I'm just having one of those months where I've had a really good run for 10 years. I've run second-hand machines and not had really any trouble at all. So this is just one of those things. Anyway, so I think I know where the leak's coming from, or I think I know where a leak is coming from. There may be more than one, we're yet to see. There's a pipe that goes up from the engine block, you can't see, to the turbo, and it's a return. And that looked wet yesterday with fresh oil. So I'm pretty sure that is where it's leaking from, and it's blowing through into this compartment. Because yesterday there was a big pool of oil, but there's nothing fresh drip there now, which I would have thought, if the leak was coming from here, whichever pipe was leaking, even with the machine off, would still drip because it was still hot. You would think it'd still be dripping a little bit and leave a bit of a trace of oil. So I'm going to give this all another little wipe out now with some rags. And underneath the engine, we'll have a look, but I don't know if you'll be able to see very well. I did have a torch on yesterday, but no, it's too dark. But anyway, somewhere up there is my little friendly oil leak. Anyway, oh dear, hello digger. Now, the dog keeps you happy, I'll tell you that much. He's a good companion when you're on your own and things are down. Look at that. I do pride myself in keeping the machine clean and not being rough, but I'll tell you what, sometimes it just can't be avoided. Problem with all this wet clay, I'm throwing it up, and as you're working, that just sinks down, and it's coming back towards you all the time. So where you've thrown it, you're not touching it with the machine, and then after 5 minutes, it might have seeped down into a spot where you can't move it, and you're up against it, and when you're sat on a little bit of a island like this, you've not really got the room to get the machine any further away. So it does happen. Anyway, there you go. So we're hoping to have at least diagnosed today. I can go and get some parts again, and we can get it back together and get working. I've got about, I think, eight days left. He's got money for 8 days worth of digging. So there's this pond to do. Then he wants 2 stop ponds, digging 40 foot by 20 foot, and then a bit of a tidy up, level everything up. He wants around the stop ponds big banks, so he can drive along the banks, set his car up, put the nets in, get the fish out for transferring them into the bigger ponds. They're going over here somewhere. Anyway, there you go. Just a little note on, anyone who's having a bad time of it at the moment. Doesn't have to be work, whatever it is. Keep your head up, keep going. You do get rewarded in the long run. It doesn't feel like it all the time, but it does pay off if you work hard. Oh, my pipe that I replaced is dry. So that's one good thing. The other thing I want to touch on, very briefly, is the reason I run the machines I do is I don't want massive finance bills. I could go and finance up a new machine, but sometimes this machine's stood and it's doing nothing when I'm on the 5-ton machine. So I don't believe that having a new machine, brand new I'm talking, is the way forwards. Let's have a look from up here. Follow the dog off a climb. Ooh. So I don't keep loads of finance. That's a nice view. I don't have loads of finance about me, rightly or wrongly, but I am learning. As I say, I've been very lucky so far in that I haven't had many big breakdowns with second-hand machines. This one, I'm just picking up the slack from the last owner, unfortunately, which it's not always things you can see with your eyes when you look at a machine. You just don't know until you get one hot and get it going and do some work with it. One thing I will say is I've never had any finance on a vehicle. I really don't believe that financing a vehicle, for me personally, I'm not an expert. It's not gospel, it's just what I do. A vehicle gets me from A to B. I have a Hilux, which is pretty reliable, luckily. And no finance on it. Like I say, I don't mind a bit of finance on machines. I might end up going that way. But at least the machine's out earning you money. Finance on a vehicle, in my opinion, it's really a bit of dead money. It depends. If you're doing mega miles, then yeah, maybe it makes sense. But for me, doing local work, I don't want a load of money tied up going out every month on a vehicle that isn't actually putting any money into my bank. There you go. For what it's worth, that's the way I run things. But it wouldn't work. If you've got a machine, a 13-ton machine, and it's out on a site every day, and you've got a driver on it every day, then I'm sure, yep, £250 a week, whatever they are, finance a new one, because there's no doubt it'll pay for itself. But if you've got 2 or 3 machines, like I have, and if you're only on one, the other one isn't being used, I think good second-hand machines is the way to go. But anyway, there you go. Have a nice day, and we'll update you when we've got some more. Good morning. It's actually raining today. I'm just down in the yard before work, still having problems with my case digger, so I woke up very early, couldn't get back to sleep when you're thinking about things that are bothering you. It's on your mind constantly. Just had the Kubota fired up, give it a once over. That'll be going to a job next week. I fitted some quick release couplings, teed them in here for the flail motor plug into. That worked well. This just wants a little top up of hydraulic oil after teeing into those lines there. Lost a bit of oil, nothing too major, but it wants doing. And I've just given the good old Hitachi a jump start from my car because I wanted to give that a little run, and I like it. It cheers me up. Runs absolutely mint. Fingers crossed. The run of luck I've had recently, I don't like to say anything. Just jump back in the car. We'll give it 5 minutes to warm up. It's been a week or so since maybe the first part of this video, and it's been a tough week. Still having overheating problems with the case. Cannot get to the bottom of it. It's had new thermostat, radiator flushed, taken out and flushed and cleaned properly, degreased, flushed through internally, radiator back in, that didn't make any difference. New water pump on it, new belts, new rubber shrouding between the radiator cowling and the metal frame that's in there. What else? Oh, coolant system flush like an additive you put in, so you drain all your coolant out, half fill with water, put the additive in, top up with water, run the machine, and it's like a detergent. Cleans the block, cleans the radiator. Did that yesterday morning, flushed it through, filled it back up with water. No different, still getting hot. So I think unfortunately now it's a case of take it somewhere and strip the engine. I think could be a problem at the head. The head gasket hasn't gone. There's no pressure through the radiator or anything like that. There's no signs of that, but there must be a blockage somewhere, and I've pretty much ruled out everything external. It must be an internal blockage, so that's going to be a bit of a job, but well, I haven't got any choice, so I feel a bit trapped, because I'm into the machine for definitely more than what it's worth. But it is, I don't mind that when it's working right. It's a good machine, that's fine. It's going to earn me money. But in terms of swapping it or anything, I'm not in a position now to do that. I can't. So I have no choice. I need to fix it, basically. The deficit, if I trade it in as it is, would be massive. So it's got to be fixed. And it's still a low-hour machine. It's just a bit disappointing. It's taken all of my positivity to stay positive. But I have done. I've got a little job that I'm going on today to help a mate of mine out so I can earn some wages, keep going. And then next week I've got a little job I can drop onto with the good old Kubota. So we'll do that, and I just need to find someone, see today if I can line up someone to, what am I saying? See if I can line someone up to strip the engine down and see if they can find a problem inside the case. Let's jump in the good old Hitachi. So that's what I'm up to that. It's probably going to cost me a couple of £1,000, but it's doing nothing sat where it is, and it won't be doing anything sat where it is if it continues. So there's, like I say, there's no choice really. It's got to be done. Ooh. So I'll just, like I say, I was up very early. Couldn't get back to sleep because I was just thinking, looking at that nice cracked glass. Just thinking about things over and over in my head, so I thought I'll come down to the yard, do something useful. This hadn't been running a while, and I know last time I tried to start it, it wouldn't start, batteries are flat, so give this a jump start for my car, get it running. I just want to move it out from where it is a bit because it looks a bit sorry for itself sat here. Move it out, and then get it out from all sort of, it's in a pile of muck at the minute. I want to get it out of here, and then I'll have cheered up a bit once I've driven this. I like this old machine. Then I'll go to work. So anyway, yeah, touching back on, tell you what, there's some work in this cab to do, but that's definitely on the back burner now. What was I saying then? Yeah, positive mental attitude. Very difficult at times. I have been tested with the case machine overheating and this, that and the other going on for 2 or 3 weeks. It has tested me about to my limits, I'd say. But we're alright. We'll keep going. Keep plugging on, that's all you can do. So much worse things happen, I know. yeah, anyone having, don't know what happened then, anyone having a tough time with breakdowns, glitches and stuff like that, keep going, keep positive, these things pass. A few months time you'll be looking back thinking, oh yeah, that was a pain, but it's done now. So yeah, head up, keep on going, that's all you can do.